Welcome to Groovy TV.
Good evening.
Welcome to Groovy TV.
Good evening.
Welcome to Groovy TV.
Good evening.
Have we gone live now? Yeah, great, fantastic. I'm wearing one of my favourite t-shirts.
That's that sorted out.
Our guest is not here, he's gone to the toilets.
Is there not some copyright issues there with them, that t-shirt?
I've no idea, but we've got the Clash, we've got Echo and the Bunnymen, we've got the Who, we've got Eric's, we've got the Jam, and believe it or not, we've got the Farm. You know, I'm happy with that.
We're all in good company then.
Hat, scarf and badge, t-shirt this, so it's...
They do go clobber like.
And the lad will come in, the lad. David Pichilingi, who runs Sound City, was very famous for t-shirts, wasn't he?
He wants a particular t-shirt.
Yeah, he had a t-shirt called, well, he had a band called 35 Summers, but the band weren't that well known, but the t-shirts were very well known, weren't they? So it was a case of like, the Inspiral Carpets started it really, didn't they? Having famous t-shirts. And then 35 Summers had famous t-shirts. And fortunately now, Dave's back from China.
He is back from China.
Yeah, he's a globetrotter. When we knew him,
taking over the world.
He used to have a different name when we first knew him.
He's got different hair when we knew him.
When we first knew him, he was in this band. Well, I think there was a band called Wake Up Africa. He can tell us. Wake Up Africa. Who thought, what a fantastic name that is. But then they changed the name to 35
It was like a soulful Mick Hucknall, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then they changed the name to 35 Summers, and that's when the t-shirts got really massive.
That was really,
So
we'd like to welcome to these amazing seats who keep refusing to occupy it, Mr. David Pichilingi.
David Pichilingi.
Lovely to be here. Nice to be here. I've seen many people sitting in this seat actually over the last few weeks. It's kind of
last week
quite nice to be here.
Had the Metro Mayor.
Exactly, indeed, yeah. And you dressed appropriately in red.
Oh, yeah. And you've just been to his inauguration, his coronation.
I have, yeah.
In Devonshire House.
Yeah, which is a very old, apparently Devonshire House is a very, it's supported Labour since the 70s or the 80s, basically, you know, so it's we used to play there with Andy Doherty years ago.
Talking about Steve Rotherham here, aren't we? And
yes,
he's been elected Metro Mayor, and his mate Andy has been elected Metro Mayor for Manchester. So you've had a lot of well, first of all, let's go back to 35 Summers.
Yeah.
Because where was 35 Summers? Why did you change your name from Wake Up America to 35 Summers?
Well, Wake Up Africa, it was our guitarist, a lad called Peter Bentham. And you know, you're always trying to find, I don't know, very literate names in the 80s. Everyone was trying to cook the books, or you know, whatever it was. You know, everyone had to say.
Crying at Chisis.
Crying at Chisis, all of that kind of. You know, China Crisis was a good example. You know, what did that actually mean? Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. So you were always trying to think, but ours wasn't quite literate. I remember he came up with Wake Up. We said we can't just have Wake Up. That doesn't sound very good. So he came up with Africa, and then we put a K in it.
Was that about?
And I think because. Well, I don't. We didn't actually mean anything.
Did you put a K in it because you like Kit Kats?
Yeah, exactly. You've read the book. It was to do with Kit Kats. But people thought it was a kind of right-wing thing at one point. Well, because of the Africa spelt as the South African way.
Oh,
and also, remember the whole Joy Division thing and the New Order thing at that time? Exactly, you know, so what is he going on about?
Let him talk, will you?
So I remember we played a great gig in Kirkland's one time. Do you remember upstairs at Kirkland's?
Oh, do I remember upstairs at Kirkland's?
We used to make our own posters, as everyone did in those days. You know, you'd get your letter set out. We had Wake Up Africa. We had a lot of kind of Zulu fighters with kind of spears. You know, coming. There was a great poster. It was a beautiful layout, great typography. And you know, nobody knew who we were, and I think half of the black population of Toxteth turned up thinking we were going to be some kind of reggae or funk band. And then these 4 or 5 pasty-looking lads turned up, sounding vaguely like the House Martins or something like that. And I think we had about, you know, maybe 100 people in the room. I think we were down to about 5 by our third song. Like, you know, it wasn't a great start.
Was that your first gig? Was it?
No, it wasn't our first gig.
Where was your first gig then?
My first gig ever was in in Deacon Road Labour Club in Widnes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And it was.
And how did that go down with the wheel tappers and shunters?
Yeah, it was a little bit like the wheel tappers and shunters. We all had jumpsuits at the time, and we wore Keos with our jumpsuits. You remember Keos?
Yeah.
So I had a red pair of Keos and a jumpsuit. I believe you've got a kind of jumpsuit for your wedding.
Well, I'm sort of I'm remaining stum on that one.
Don't mention the wedding.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't mention
that. Yeah, we can take that away.
But so you Wake Up Africa, and how long did they go for? Like, I mean,
Wake Up Africa,
were you sending demos?
This was Device actually, so the band then was Device. We were vaguely a new wave band into the jam and the
send stuff off to John Peel and all that.
Not them,
no.
Not them, because we were doing covers really at the very end. But Wake Up Africa we did, yeah. But John would always, he'd always get back in touch, but we never ever got a session.
Shrugged you off.
I think we should have done, yeah. I remember.
No, to be fair.
No, I said shrugged you off.
He shrugged us off. He shrugged us off, and we should have. We should have. But he shrugged us off in a nice way.
Exactly. I actually remember quite liking Wake Up Africa.
We were a great band. I actually think we were better than 35 Summers.
I think you were as well. Yeah.
Controversial.
T-shirt people.
Yeah. Because it was 7. They would say 7 years in the making. That band really. And I think at our best we sounded vaguely like Talking Heads or something like that.
Why did you split up then?
Well, we didn't. We just. I think because we started sounding like Talking Heads, but ended up sounding a bit like Hue and Cry. And when anyone sounds like Hue and Cry, that's a good reason to split up. That's time to stop.
Did you have a bit of a following in Widnes, like?
Yeah, we not one of in Widnes. We did a lot of stuff with Western Promise.
Oh, right.
So we did some shows, a lot of shows with them.
Western Promise still play now, don't you?
They do. They do.
Are you like big rivals?
No, we were never rivals. John McGlone, we loved Western Promise.
John's probably watching this.
Hello John, if you are watching. But
can we have our amp back, John, please?
Can I have my innocence back?
Yes. And John, we love you.
And so we were playing things like the Venue in town and the Mardi and so different places like that. So we kind of, and the Pyramid Club. Do you remember the Pyramid Club?
Yeah. What a venue
that was. You had to position yourself to see the bands, depending on where you were.
Well, Julie
just had to position yourself to be in there.
Well, exactly.
Julie Hope did a weekday, didn't
he? Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did a weekday in the Pyramid.
So it's a great club, the Pyramid Club.
So you sound like Hue and Cry, and
no, we started sounding like Talking Heads. We ended up sounding like Hue and Cry.
Yeah, right.
That was a good reason.
So then, was it the same members?
No, only 2 of us.
Yeah.
And then my brother was in a band, Lawrence, and they were in a band called Day Without Rain, who Andy Doherty and all them from Adlib used to call Day Without Songs. And in fact, they fondly christened us Wake Up Audience.
It's the type of bands that go on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I used to call our kids drummer.
Yeah.
He said he's not a drummer, he's a drum owner.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, but anyway, so we split up.
Yeah.
And then it's always been a point of resentment with me and our kid, because the bass player Robbie Fay and the guitarist from that band Greg ended up in 35 Summers. And
he didn't.
And our kid didn't, of course. We couldn't have had 2. We'd have been like the Proclaimers, our Lawrence.
So was there ever any competition between you and your brother? Who was the best front man?
Well, no. To be fair, I was a better front man. But our kid had a better voice.
I've seen the video on the ferry,
which proves I'm a great front man.
So you go from 35 Summers. It caused a split in the family.
It did, yeah. We've never talked since. Yeah.
So, what was the idea behind 35 Summers then? What was the inspiration? What was the group you were aiming for?
I think there was a moment.
Why not 36 Summers?
Well, it's because somebody said the story. It's about 35 Summers was, when you're trying to find a band name again, so we've gone from Wake Up Africa, and I thought, it's got to be a bit more clever, a bit more literate this time. Yeah. And so you were going through lots of things, and there's a do you remember the film Rumblefish?
Yeah.
With Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
And Tom Waits is in that film. And there's a great scene with when Tom Waits talks to Mickey Rourke, and he says, when you're young and you think you're gonna live forever, and then you think to yourself, shit, how long I got left? You think to yourself, 35 summers. Think about it, 35 summers. Yeah. And so I thought, wow, that's great. 35 summers left to live. Yeah. And so I thought, you measure your life in summers. And so we called ourselves 35 Summers, you know.
Okay.
And it was
so what year was this one?
1989.
89, yeah.
It's a good story, though.
Well, you know, your t-shirts become, let's face it, they become more famous than your music.
They did. We sold more of them than our music. Well,
did you? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. A lot more. Well, you know, I was, and let's be honest, because I was, you remember,
is this one of them?
This is a kind of a remake of it.
Is this original?
No.
I've got
Peter's
an
got
original.
Peter would have an original.
Yeah, I've got an original one.
You've got like neck stains on that, haven't you?
Yeah,
so
what stains those are.
And you're going to put off half the population of Merseyside because you got
still, and I'm still so proud when I see these.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like,
what's that? Stains?
Oh God, don't be.
Have you been masturbating on it?
Probably.
But, so you're a Merseyside band.
They look very
Merseyside band. You have a Liverpool FC icon. And you just...
I'll tell you, we can stay t-shirts on our show. I'm outraged.
You've got a Liverpool icon.
Yeah.
You're just going to piss off half the population of Merseyside, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, we did, but I was a Liverpool fan, and you know...
I mean, I wore one of these on the Groovy team.
You did, I remember, yeah.
The Groovy team
exactly,
video,
yeah.
Which is still...
But you know the first t-shirt we had...
Yeah, but you're not going to go down well in Manchester.
Well, no,
can I interject?
Yeah, well, you always do.
Yeah, and just to interject as an Evertonian, you know, I am not offended by that picture because, I mean, as an Evertonian, yeah, all right, I've had a
no, Scouse accent's worse than Steve Rotherham's.
You're drinking on camera, you can't do that. I mean,
okay.
No.
Sorry
like
about
living
that.
in like a really sanitised world. No, at Shankly, we as Evertonians, we all quite respected Shankly.
Yeah. And I think so. Yeah. And I think actually we
and he is an icon.
It was symbolic. Yeah. And I think it was more because we used to come on stage to the Rising Damp theme tune. And then the...
Did you?
Yeah, that was what we came on our headline show.
We used to come on to Steptoe.
We did,
Well, there you go. You know, so we came on to Rising Damp theme tune.
Brilliant.
And then Shankly would come up behind us, particularly on that first tour. And you know, we played... The only place we ever had any problem was in Dudley. And Dudley in the Midlands.
Right.
And and I tell you, because I'm not a fighter, I'm a talker. You know, I'm a talker.
You are a fighter.
You're a lover,
like Woody Allen, I'm a lover. You know, I'm a lover, I'm a talker. You know, I
bruise
very easily.
You've always reminded me of Woody Allen, actually.
You know,
so what happened in Dudley?
Oh God, we had to get a police escort out of Dudley JB's. Do you remember JB's?
Was this 35 Summers?
Yeah.
Because
we locked ourselves because of they just thought we were being partisan. You know, and so that was the only time we played Manchester with it. We never had a problem. Never had a problem anyway. Because people, I think, recognised, as Keith said, that actually we weren't trying to be partisan. We were trying to just, you know, we were just celebrating football. And I think Shankly said, you know, even Ferguson was a massive fan of Shankly. You know, so I think
it's funny you should say that because the worst trouble the farm ever had was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
When we played with the Redskins, it was actually proper, like a Cockney rejects, right?
Yeah, well, there you go.
For some reason,
they still point at planes, don't they?
Well, we apologise to the listeners in Birmingham.
Well, in Dudley, I think they still point at planes. If there's anyone from Dudley, if you can defend that position.
You sold a lot of t-shirts, but it didn't go well with the records.
Not really, no. We couldn't really give the records away. If we could have wrapped the t-shirts around the record, it might have gone better.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But you know,
then you worked with us for a bit after that, didn't you?
No, I worked with you before that.
Oh, right.
I was working with so I worked the early days of Produce.
Yeah.
In fact, managing you for about a brief moment in time before Kevin and Suggsy came in managing. Yeah. I always remember that great meeting in Holmes Building, where one of the lads, I won't mention the name this time, but you know, kind of smoking some kind of
I was Macca then, wasn't
it? Do you remember that? And he just threw his ring up outside the place.
One of his words like, who the fuck are you?
That's right. And you know, I saw you talking about the sheep the other week. Do you know the sheep on Stepping Stone?
Yeah.
I took that back to London.
Did you? So
in 2 bin bags. I took it back to London and it still had the Everton hat. I've still got the Everton hat.
We were all wondering for years where it went.
I took it back to that.
You took a sheep under the arm
under
on
the arm,
a train.
on a Virgin train,
yeah.
back to London.
And no one batted an eye.
No, they did.
So you are one
it had 4 legs sticking out the bin bags, and I took it back to the place just outside Euston in Camden, and it was an amazing place. It had all these stuffed animals. You know, I mean, the days before mobile phones, you know, but I took that back on the train to London.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And
Well,
was,
you know,
Did you have to pay? Did you have to pay for it? Like?
No, I didn't have to pay for it.
No,
I was coming down to see you in the studio.
You've just solved a real mystery.
I saw that as well.
I 20 odd years.
And I've still got all the photos, the original photos from the Everton Brow. I've still got the original photos. I should have brought them tonight.
When we got all the problem off with Wade Smith and never took it back.
Exactly, yeah. In fact, we did with 35 Summers.
Yeah. Wade Smith will go.
So when you, when you came down to the studio a couple of times in London, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, what was that feeling like?
When you supposed to be coming, it was amazing. I thought it was, and to be honest, you know when you just know something's happening. It felt, because obviously we'd all done bands. We'd usually played for a long time. We'd all played for a long time, and we weren't signed then. It was the start of 35 Summers then. We'd been going. I don't know how long we've been going then.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you've been going for 35 Summers.
Well, not quite. I'd be dead now. But it felt, that whole session felt right. Terry, because I remember at the time when Terry Farley was suggested and all that, and I think it might have been.
I recommended you.
You did, you really did, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Probably one of the biggest mistakes in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I did recommend because you had put out records.
Absolutely. And I remember that was your
and the idea was to teach produce who had no knowledge of records, and they were just people who were.
Hey, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Whatever about anything about the politics at that time, but I loved it. I did think when I came down, you could really tell. You heard Groovy Train, particularly stuff like that. Flaming, because it was Snap. The whole Snap thing at the time. And I think that had even come out at the time, and he was sampling it, and you're thinking, wow, this is on Stepping Stone, and you think, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. So it felt, a very proud moment, and just to play.
No, it was short-lived, but it was,
Yeah, and to be fair, we went into RCA then.
I mean, it didn't fall out over there.
No, never.
We don't know what went on. Something went on,
Anyway, let's not do that.
The lawyers are probably. The boys probably got involved.
We've all done all right since.
It was probably the Bill Shankly thing on the t-shirt.
We hadn't even done this yet. We only had a Rumblefish. Carl had done a Rumblefish t-shirt for us with which was very clever, but it was too clever. Yeah, it was too clever. It didn't really capture the imagination.
Very clever.
Because when I did this, I just blown up as Pichilingi Shankly from from a program, an old program, and I just with that was just what was that what used to do. Remember we used to, on a blotting paper or whatever, a white thing if you'd done something wrong on a typewriter. That's what that was. I just wrote 35.
Can everyone see that? Yeah, it's like, it's one of the classic.
It's classic, it is classic.
Number 2 in the face.
That's so fucking done with.
Let's leave
you can still get that from Haskell and Badge, but after that, the group, what happened?
We got dropped.
You got dropped.
We got dropped.
You were signed to someone, yeah?
RCA. We signed to RCA, Quarter Marshal.
How long have you been on RCA?
Maybe 18 months.
Yeah,
and so we got dropped. And
you did the cover of Come Together by
we did that before we signed to. That's what got signed. Right, that's what got us signed to RCA. Before that, we did it on a label called.
Not your own songs, like.
Oh no, we did all our own songs. Yeah. But that song.
Candy flipped to the Beatles song.
They did indeed. Yeah. But that was a good cover. Actually.
I thought it was.
Strawberry Fields.
I mean, on reflection.
Yeah, I mean, it was a moment in time. It was a moment in time.
So
listen, you did, Stepping Stone.
We
let's
did,
be honest. So let's not get on to cover, man.
Yeah. No, we're not taking the piss.
Yeah. No.
He was.
We're just interested in the history.
Exactly.
So then after the group, what happened?
Well, then we got dropped, and I wanted to stay in music, and so I ended up. I ended up working. Because Phil Sachs was a good friend of mine because he'd managed the Mondays. And I've got no.
I like Phil Sachs.
Well, I love Phil. Phil's a dear mate. So I'd known Phil from when you had played at the Picket. With Happy Mondays, and so
when they supported us.
And we and them became friends over them years. And then Phil actually got me a job in Liverpool.
Yeah.
He got me in because we were friends there. And then I ended up, through that, working with Rob Gretton. So I worked with Rob on Manchester, because what happened was...
Was that in the city or...?
No, this was before in the city.
Right,
So I was managing, I managed a band called Sub with Dave Rope, a guy called Dave Rope, yeah. So Dave Rope was the manager of Sub and I managed a girl called Nina Henshin.
Right.
And so we did the first Sub album together.
So you're doing that during the 90s, yeah?
Yeah.
And what, you got involved with it in the city with Tony Wilson?
Yeah, I ended up involved with that again through Phil.
What year was that, like?
94, something like that, yeah. And then
Was that the time when you actually got carried out a man in the city?
No, that was much later.
Or was that later in your career?
I got stretched out of the Free Trade Hotel, the old Free Trade Hotel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What, someone attacked you?
No, I took too many pharmaceuticals the night before.
Was that because you were enjoying yourself too much?
I was enjoying myself too much. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, I mean,
and I've got to be honest, since that day I've never really... I don't even drink coffee now. Yeah.
So that must have been a brilliant experience with Tony Wilson.
It was, and I think what was brilliant about Tony was he was a huge fan of Liverpool, Tony, you know, and it's well documented that, but it truly was.
You know, we've been
a huge
saying
fan
that.
of Liverpool, yeah.
You know.
He loved to wind us up.
Of course, was a wind up.
And he also liked he was a bit like Ferguson in the way he wanted to knock us off our perch in some ways, you know. So what we did with Factory and everything was a bit like knocking us off our perch, really.
Yeah.
Because that was a
he got a lot of his ideas from Liverpool.
Absolutely,
yeah,
and he loved the arrogance and he loved the swagger. He loved the camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, the whole idea within the city was we were going to bring it. So in 1999, well, we did bring it to Liverpool in 99, and the whole idea was it was going to be Liverpool, Manchester, Liverpool, Manchester. And this, I always remember Tony did this great interview because Pete Fulwell had been responsible for bringing it. Then we'd all sat down and brought
Pete Fulwell from Erics.
Yeah, Pete Fulwell from Erics, exactly. And we'd sat down and we did it because we took it to the Crown Plaza Hotel, which was the only decent hotel in Liverpool at that time.
There wasn't many hotels in Liverpool at that time.
And it was a great in the city. It felt great anyway. And Tony did this great interview afterwards with Peter to set it up for him, saying, "Marvellous. It was one of the best in the cities we've had. It's amazing, you know, and all this kind of stuff." And then we had our debrief back in Manchester. He goes, "It was fucking terrible. We're not doing it again." Every fucker was on the guest list and all this. And so, you know, Tony as ever had done this whole media thing, you know, to the camera about how amazing it was. But he just lost so much money because everyone was on the guest list. He'd never known a guest list like it, and that was bearing in mind how bad Manchester was. Liverpool just really took it to a new level.
Guest list.
Even Glasgow would never took it to that guest list level. You know, and Liverpool, and so we never brought it back to Liverpool after because of that reason. Really, because he always felt it was too big.
Yeah.
Felt we couldn't make.
So then he passed away in 2007, was it?
Yeah.
And you thought to start Sound City, was that a reason because he passed away?
Yeah, it was because I felt like In the City was Tony. In the City was Tony. You know, okay, it was called In the City, but it was Tony and Yvette. To be fair to Yvette, it was Tony and Yvette. Much as Phil was an important player and I was a more minor player, and Phil Sachs was a very important player, but it was all about Tony and the City. And the other thing that happened was
he drove it.
It did.
No, but I remember around by that time having a chat, speaking to you.
Yeah.
We were sort of working together at the time. In Liverpool and stuff, and you telling me that I'm going on a year's recce and stuff, and I'm going to do this thing called you're going to do a music event.
That's right.
Because largely you sort of had enough, which was later to become Sound City. So I mean, you were quite, from my recollection and memory of it, you were quite determined that you wanted to do something in Liverpool.
I did,
specific.
So did you want to do something in Liverpool before, when he was still alive, or were you thinking after he's passed away, we've got to do it in Liverpool?
Well, I think both. I wanted us to do the flip-flop thing with Liverpool and Manchester, and then that never happened. So I was quite saddened when that didn't happen. Much as I understood why Tony didn't want to do it because of the financial thing about that, the guest list. I mean, there were other reasons, but that was a big reason. And so we just cracked on then doing the Manchester, you know, Manchester in the cities, and it was great. But then when Tony got ill, and then when Tony sadly died, it was there was another reason as well. We'd all started going to South by Southwest.
Right.
So we'd
when
all
did you first go to South by
2005, 6.
Yeah.
You know.
Why have you never invited me to South by Southwest?
I've not been. Well, we went for 11 years running then, you know. It was a. Well, we should all go next year. You should take this. So as a South
we should.
People
We should
would
go over
love
there
it.
and do Groovy
You know.
Southwest.
Well, you should. Yeah.
Sorry, Groovy South by Southwest.
So you first went in.
I went in the first time in 2006.
Yeah, and it was like an eye opener.
And it was an eye-opener because we, you know, the New Music Seminar was the reason why Tony started in the city.
Yeah.
And the New Music Seminar in New York was amazing. You know, we'd all gone to that again with Rob and everyone else, and you know, so we understood why Tony wanted to do that. But then, as always, everything has cycles, doesn't it? So in the city was the biggest thing in the UK for a long time. But we were all hearing about this thing in Austin, Texas, this South by Southwest thing. We thought, you know, we need to check that out. And when you went, it was like amazing, you know, because it was like the most obvious thing now. But it wasn't then, you know, like using sweet shops to put gigs on, and, you know, laundrettes to put music on it. And you watched it and you went, this is unbelievable, this is fantastic.
And whose idea was South by Southwest?
It was sadly one of the guys it was a guy called Roland who's still alive now, and he's
in Austin, Texas.
In Austin, Texas. He's from Austin, Texas, and he was the main guy, Roland Swanson, who set it up. He's a lovely guy. And he wanted to champion Austin music first and foremost. Yeah. That was his dream.
Was there an Austin music?
Oh, brilliant Austin music.
At that time?
Well, only
because we played there, didn't we?
Yeah, only because the saying in Austin is keep Austin weird. Yeah. You know, because Austin is a Democrat stronghold in a Republican state.
We were certainly we were there. Like,
Well, you know, it's the only bit of socialism in the middle of republicanism.
We loved it there, but I couldn't name you a band from there.
No, and nor could I. But when you see them,
500 miles from Graceland.
Absolutely, it's an amazing city, an amazing bunch of people there. And so, you know, I didn't know Roland then, and I now see him, you know, because he comes to Sound City now and all that. So now we've become quite good friends. But then it was him and a guy called Brent Grohl, who sadly died about 3 years ago. And you know, so we went there and we just thought, this is fantastic. You know, this is like, and we came back to Tony and we went, that's the model. We've got to reinvent our model. Because the thing about in the city was, the whole in the city model
was like based on like bread moment.
Well, it was, but you know, in the city was based on 54 unsigned bands that no A&R people knew anything about.
Yeah.
And so what we would do is we would keep all those bands private, and so Coldplay, Muse, Radiohead, all these amazing bands came to in the city. But you had to come to in the city to discover it. And the one thing that killed in the city was when MySpace happened. Because when MySpace happened, all the bands started saying, we're playing in the city. And so all the A&R would check out and they'd find out the 52 shit bands. And then wouldn't bother coming, and so they just checked out the two good ones and found. So that was a factor. South by Southwest being an amazing thing. Tony obviously sadly dying was a massive factor. And so when that happened, I sat down with Yvette. We met in the Lowry Hotel in Manchester. And I sat down and I said, I'm going to start my own festival. You know, I'm going to start.
She was happy about that. Yeah.
Well, she wasn't. She said, if Tony was alive, he'd call you a cunt. I said, Tony always called me a cunt anyway. I
so
said,
nothing's changed.
You know, so not a lot's changed. I said, and I said, you know, but anyway, me and Yvette, we were fine about it. But we laughed about it, you know.
So that was so it's the 10th anniversary of Sound City.
So, but I sat down with Yvette in 2007.
2006 was it?
2007 when I sat down with Yvette saying I'm going to start this event next year.
You cunt. Absolutely. Sorry about the language.
Just sorry, it's only words. I always say to my kids, they're only words.
So, I mean, to sort of get to this stage, really, I mean, I remember, you know, talking to you, you know, when you first actually started the Sound City thing, and I personally, I've watched it grow year on year on year. I mean, what's it mean to you now?
I'd like to know what the first one was like. What was the first one?
It was hard. It was, you know, it was. We did it in the Hard Day's Night Hotel, the conference.
Yeah.
I think we had about 200 200 delegates there. Maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 speakers.
I think you drove me around the city in a limousine.
We did, that's right.
I was doing interviews.
I was doing interviews as well.
Doing interviews.
We did a thing called Demo in a Limo.
That's right,
yeah.
It was a great idea. And it was a great idea. I remember saying to Mum, I don't fucking travel in limos and that. You know what I mean? You got to be in a fucking limo.
That's right, yeah. And we did which was your idea in the first place, we had the John Peel World Cup. Well, we called it the John Peel World Cup. We did that. for several years.
But
as well.
it's grown massively, hasn't it? You know?
Yeah, it has.
I mean, it's one of the biggest festivals in the country now for like unsigned bands.
For unsigned bands, absolutely. Yeah. You know, and I think that's the proudest thing, really. I think one of the biggest things is doing something in your hometown that's put Liverpool back on the map again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not just for the Beatles. And listen, I've got the utmost respect and love for the Beatles, of course. But you know, not looking backwards, looking forwards.
I know, we get what you're saying.
You know, and so just trying to.
Well, for me, when it went to a place like Walsall Square, in the warehouses there, that for me was the great time.
It was, yeah.
Now you went to the docks last year. I know
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. For me, I mean, it's a brilliant view and everything. It's not as atmospheric because it's not as enclosed. You know, so.
Well, I tell you. Well, you know, we've changed. We've done 2 years on Bramley Moor Dock, which is now the home of Everton, or will be the home.
I'm like getting evicted, lad.
Yeah, we have been already evicted. So now we're on Clarence Dock this year, which is a bigger space. You know,
it's on sinking sand now. Bramley Moor Dock.
Yeah, don't say Clarence Dock, because we still got tickets to sell. Don't be putting
Bramley Dock will be fine.
Clarence Dock. So you know. And the ethos has always been the same. It's to champion emerging talent, primarily Liverpool and Manchester emerging talent. So you know, for the Northwest.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, bands that inspire young bands. And I think one of my proudest things is this year being in the Velvet Underground. Or you know, John Kay and
me and Peter were talking about
getting on the guest list.
Getting on the guest list for this because we were talking about it before, obviously downstairs before you arrived, and we were both going, what fucking bands has you got this year?
No, it's Human League.
But we knew. Yeah. No, but we knew you had the Velvet Underground.
Yes, exactly.
And the Human League and the Kooks.
And the Kooks.
And Art of Noise.
Art of Noise.
A certain ratio.
Kooks,
Metronomy.
Well, like these are the headliners, but you've got a load of other ones.
You know, maybe
different stages,
350 bands.
350 bands.
Yeah, just over 350.
Over the years, has any band which has been at Sound City which has gone on to become...
Well, I guess the most obvious one is Ed Sheeran. I paid Ed Sheeran 50 quid for 2 shows.
Yeah.
I think I
You're to blame for it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, when he played, we had him in Bumper.
Yeah. No, but I know what year was that? Was this like a red ginger hair thing?
Yeah, always. You know, we stick together.
Did you feel sorry for him?
It was, to be fair, they were great shows, you know, and before he started singing about Irish girls and all that kind of stuff.
So what year was this, Ed Sheeran?
2012.
Ah, right, I don't know.
Yeah, Florence and the Machine, we paid 50 quid.
Oh yeah, I remember Florence and the Machine.
Bastille was
one of the great gigs.
Bastille, that year you had Bastille on. We had them in here doing a tune.
That's right.
We had got Bastille and we did actual and
for me, one of the great gigs that I saw at Sound City was Jungle.
Oh,
and they wasn't for like for 6 months they were like just
in a tiny little. Do you remember that's a bar now, but it was a little tiny warehouse.
Yeah, brilliant.
You couldn't even get in. I couldn't get in the space myself. It was like
fantastic. So I mean, any other, you know,
1975 in Zanzibar. Yeah, we put them on the Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Mumford and Sons. I think we put them on in Parr Street.
Right.
You know, so 50 people could probably get in and see them. Oh, good God.
So you've had
Ellie Goulding. You know, we've had...
Do you have Ellie Goulding as well?
We had Ellie Goulding, yeah. We've had...
We've had most... They were all unsigned bands?
Or recently signed, you know. So we had them before any other festival, really, and gave them their slots, really, you know.
So what
did they ever get them back in touch with you?
No.
So what?
It's a simple answer. You know, it's that 10th year, we'd have loved them to come back, you know.
So what? You know, you've got a captive audience here of millions.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you're on Groovy TV, no expense spared, as you can see.
Yeah. Well, this is all very impressive.
It's very impressive, isn't it? What's the vision for this year?
The vision for this year is you know, because we're living in the maddest world ever now, you know, Trump, 100 odd days, whatever, you know, another Thatcher kind of looking like she's going to be ruling our country in another month's time, but properly ruling it, which is a very worrying. And then what's going on in rock and roll is kids are singing about kind of handbags and kind of how beautiful the streets are and stuff like, you know, you're thinking, what's going on? Where's the punk rock and all of this?
So for the touts.
It's not Wake Up Cleethorpes.
Well, grime are probably grime is probably the only bit of dangerous rock and roll.
The touts coming on your festival.
Who?
Touts.
Oh yeah, we have touts. Oh, touts selling tickets?
No.
The band.
The band touts.
Oh no.
From, Jerry.
No,
we're singing about handbags, I'm telling you.
Well, no, listen, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
You know, there are, like, Cabbage are doing what they're doing, and some of the bands that are out there doing what they're doing. You know, Sugarmen, you're from Liverpool, they're doing a great job, you know, espousing some socialist values and everything. But not a lot are. It doesn't feel like 1976, does it?
Right.
Or 1988.
No.
You know, and so we're doing this thing called Where's the Revolution? You know, so it's, you know, for once we're looking back, and so we brought a lot of luminaries from the kind of first British invasion. We've got people from British punk rock movements, as well as the American punk rock movements, and also Acid House, and also a lot of people from the
one of the conferences.
Talking about the spirits of revolution.
Can we be part of your revolutionary thing? Because we can bring along like a revolutionary thermometer.
Let's get it along.
Whereas I can put it in the mouth and I can tell you exactly how revolutionary they are or not. And if not, we can just fucking lash them off the fucking thing.
In fact, let's not even let them on the site unless they pass the revolutionary moments.
The revolutionary thermometer we need. We can stick it in any orifice.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing something for Writing on the Wall. Dave Randall from Faithless.
Yeah.
He's written a book about the power of music, music and revolution, I think it's called. So is he? Have you heard about that? No. But I like him.
It's right. You know, he's a very literate guy. You know,
he's on the wall. At the end of the month.
I'm not sure Faithless was that revolutionary necessarily. You know, but
no.
But him as an individual, I think he's got a lot to say.
Who would you put down as the revolutionary bands then?
Now?
Yeah.
No, then.
Oh God. Well, I mean, I think everything not begins and ends, but certainly the Pistols were one of the the most, wasn't it? I think probably the only one of the London bands to inspire me to
Clash.
Clash, yeah. But I think more so the Pistols. I believe. Listen, I'm going to be quite controversial now, but I believe the Pistols more than I believe the Clash. If that makes sense. And not Mick Jones.
It's the other way around for me, but I mean, it's,
I think.
It's all about opinions, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
So in terms of in the modern era, you would say
I think it's difficult, and I think I'm not living it like I was when I was a kid.
To be perfectly honest with you, I believe the Pistols and the Clash before I believed Dexy's Midnight Runners, because I was always
that was all about Bill and
who the fucking hell's Eileen?
Yeah.
Have you been drinking?
I'm out of my one or two.
He's handling it well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Doing a great job.
Well, on that note,
in terms of so Sound City, what's the dates for Sound City? Is some tickets still left? Or?
The Velvet Underground is sold out.
Yeah, that's why we
so you can come to that. Yeah, well, you're very welcome. Maybe do this with John Cale backstage.
He'd be made up with this.
I think he would actually. John's. John is technology. He's because we got
Phil
this show.
Would be a good one. Wouldn't you? But we could all wear wigs.
Bit of a misery.
A bit of a misery,
maybe, but we'll scrap that line. John Cale definitely. I think he would do well for this.
So who are you looking forward to then?
John's development, without a doubt. For me, the development of Underground.
And how did you get them?
His manager and John have been mates for many, many years. John produced the Happy Mondays album many years ago, so known him for many, many years, John. And then we had him in the City years ago. In fact, John came to in the City in Liverpool. He was one of our keynote speakers that year. And then his manager has been the same manager for many, many years, a lady called Lisa Scott. Yeah. And so I brought him to Sound City a few years ago. And then I realised it was the 50th year of the Banana album, which is probably, for me, one of the most important albums of all time. And so I knew he'd done this thing in the Philharmonie in Paris. So I spoke to Nita and I said, look, can we get John to play Liverpool? And the Barbican were going for it. What's the festival? Primavera were going for it. Everybody wanted it, but we got to say.
Why do you think he chose?
Because friendship.
not because of Liverpool Music City? Or?
Well, that was part of it. Friendship, loving Liverpool, working class city, a Welsh lad. You know, he didn't want to do it in Spain or France or anywhere like that. Wanted to do it in the UK or in England or in the UK.
He loves that breeze of the music.
He does, and I think we invented this great thing because.
So you're saying he's an Everton fan then?
No, he's not. I don't really like.
I tell you, who is an Everton fan? The lead singer of Future Islands.
Is
who I
he?
went to see last week.
That's right, he is. Yeah, he is. He is a good toffee. Yeah.
And it was a great gig, by the way.
Oh, you know why? Because of Tom Lynch. Tom Lynch, who promoted that show.
Oh, right.
Tom Lynch is a massive Evertonian.
He took him to an Everton
Yeah, he
gig
did.
when he was the Casimir.
So, because Tom did the first show with Future Islands in Liverpool,
Yeah.
and that's why he got that show again.
Right,
And he took him the game. And Tom Lynch, who runs Harvest Sun.
Harvest Sun, is
Yeah.
that why?
Yeah, he's a massive
right,
Evertonian.
yeah.
Yeah, big. You know, do you know Tom?
Yeah,
I
You
know
should meet Tom.
him, yeah, but we obviously need to go to match.
Yeah, you should. He's a lovely lad, Tom. Yeah. But yeah, so
that's what. Yeah.
Tom converted him into being an Evertonian. Yeah.
So you're not going to take John Cale to the Swanfield? Or?
Well, it'll be too late. The season will be over. Yeah, as it generally is. It generally is at that time. I always remember a great story. Actually, there was a guy we used to work with, a guy called Sat Bisler. He used to.
You're making these names up.
No, he's making it out. He lives in Sat Bisler, Indian guy. So
that sounds like something you smoke.
Well, who knows? And he when we didn't have a great deal of money with Sound City in the early days, we don't have a great deal now, but we had less then. And he was a big Liverpool fan. And he said to me, Dave, I will charge you, the price you're going to charge us. He said, but if you can get me to meet Steven Gerrard, I will half the fee. And it was that. Do you remember that season a few years ago when Liverpool, the last home game of the season was Tottenham, but it didn't matter if we won, drawn or lost, we couldn't affect the positioning. Yeah. And so I spoke to a friend of mine who got Jamie Carragher's Alfella.
Yeah.
And they picked me up outside.
Philly Carragher.
Yeah, exactly. Picked us up outside.
Philly
and he took us to
was he a taxi driver?
Took us to no, don't. He felt like one that day. And he took us to he said Carrington then. To
Melwood.
Melwood. Yeah, Melwood. Sorry, took us to Melwood, and we met Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher that day. And I always remember because he knew Coldplay, and Steven Gerrard was signing his shares. You know how cool Steven could be. Yeah. And Sack goes, well, you know, in his own way. That's
coolest man ever.
And we'll get to that. And he goes and Sack goes, oh yeah, he said, so Steven Gerrard was going, so what do you do like? And he goes, I work in music. He goes, I work with bands like Coldplay. And Steven Gerrard stopped. He goes, do you know Coldplay? Like, do you actually know Coldplay? And it was like almost seeing like the child inside the man.
Yeah,
you know, of seeing Steven Gerrard talking about, got very, very excited about the fact that this guy managed Coldplay. You know, so it was...
and Phil Collins, he likes as well.
Anyway, so moving on. I mean...
Yeah, but wait there. Before we move on, because we're going to talk about the label in a minute, but, you know, obviously the Sound City is in its 10th. What do you see for the future? Getting
Change.
bigger and bigger?
No, not necessarily, because I don't think big is better. I think we're as big as we should be now. I like boutique. I think when things, you know, we don't want to
mention Revo, haven't you? Revo.
Oh, without, you know, Revo's
Revo's books the bands.
Yeah.
Anyone
yeah.
else books the bands? Or?
Yeah, we do have other bookers. I mean, Tom from Harvest Sun has worked with us. Revo and me have been with it from day one. Yeah. You know, I can't not mention Kevin McManus.
Yeah,
Kevin McManus was instrumental in getting Sound City off the ground, really. You know, without Kev...
You got grants?
Well, yeah, when I sat down with Kev, you know, I said, look, well, him and Tony, you know, yeah. I am a cunt, man.
Yeah, you are. He said to me, so that's it.
But I'm a nice cunt. My mates in Glasgow says, Petch, you're a cunt, but I fucking love you.
Alan McGee. That's Alan McGee.
Yeah, that's right. And cunt is a term of endearment in Glasgow. You know?
Of course. Yeah.
So you know, it's good to be a nice cunt.
Yeah.
You know,
apparently so.
As opposed to a cunt. All that words are inoffensive. It depends how. If you say them with hatred, then they're not very nice. But if you say them with love, anything. And cunt, I actually like being a cunt. It feels nice.
Every cunt I've ever felt has always felt nice. I'm sort of with you on that one.
We're definitely off piece now.
So
anyway,
you got a label, but the label is called Modern Sky. But they also are involved in Sound City as well.
Yeah, so I sold a part of Sound City to a company called Ingenious several years ago.
Yeah.
And they owned a part of Creamfields and Field Day and a number of other festivals. Yeah. And then I was looking for other partners because we wanted to go different ways. And through Seymour Stein, who's been a friend for many, many years, Seymour, who actually signed you.
Legendary Seymour Stein, he's from Sire Records, America, he signed those.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's still,
you've gegged in on the friendship, haven't you?
No, it was after you, Seymour, yeah, but we've been friends for many years now.
No, I'm joking.
You can. Are you joking? Though?
I love Seymour. I haven't seen much of him since you've been knocking around.
No, well, he was in China with us last week.
He fucked us off.
Yeah, he was in China. He came to China with us. And so, anyway, Seymour introduced me to these people called Modern Sky in China, and anyway, through that they ended up buying out my old partners. But Modern Sky is owned by this most inspirational individual called Li Wei Shen. And Li Wei is a massive fan of British music and British culture. And so part of it was wants to expand Modern Sky outside of China. Because he's the biggest, he does 4.5 million festival tickets in China. He's the biggest record label in China. And
how did you get to know him?
Through Seymour. Seymour introduced me to him.
Seymour knows everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was. And so he introduced me to him, he bought out my old partners. And now we've started Modern Sky Europe, which we're now running from Sound City offices here in Liverpool.
So that's a record label based.
A record label and publishing company, yeah.
So if people are watching this, groups,
they can send you demos and
can
they?
Yeah, of course. Send them to Sam at modernsky.uk.
So you want to listen to them?
No, I could get him, but that's Sam filters it. He's our A&R, he's our A&R.
A&R, proper like A&R.
Proper A&R.
So have you signed anyone?
Yeah, we've signed a young girl called Pixie.
Right. Good name.
Yeah, she's amazing. Easy like that. Yeah.
Is she local?
She's from Billinge.
Okay.
But she's studying here in Liverpool.
And
she sounds like MIA.
Yeah.
MIA, really big song. A band called Fuss, who Tom Lynch and people, a real psych band, you know, the kind of real stoner psych band, really good. A band called Catholic Action from Glasgow.
Catholic Action?
Yeah, they sound a bit like the Primals or something. Yeah, really good. They're brilliant. I can send you the links. And we've signed.
Are they going to pull off a lot of people? The name, or do they mean?
Well, again, it's a bit like a sexual thing.
Not in religion, you mean just Catholic tastes, yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, I've never spoke to the guy, Chris, who's the lead singer, about what he actually means from that. But they're a great bunch of Glaswegians, you know, and I love that city anyway. I think it's got a great music, and they're massive fans of Orange Juice and all those things. But you know, they're a real kind of new wavy kind of band. They're very young. All of them are very young, and then we've signed a band called Violet Youth from Blackburn, who sound like The Cure, the Bunny Men. So I think the guy looks like a young Ian McCulloch.
So you've done a lot of signing, and
we have.
How many bands you've signed?
We've licensed the Sugarmen from Sire, so we're doing the album with them, and we've got a couple of other things. We've got 3 or 4 other things that we're going to announce.
So your pen's been busy now, haven't you?
Yeah,
fucking busy.
But we've got good money to do what we want to do.
We haven't heard much about this in the local press.
Well, we didn't want to do that, absolutely, because we wanted the music to speak for itself.
So we're getting an exclusive then, haven't we?
In many ways, yeah.
So people, this is an exclusive.
Yeah. And check out the bands, but we are looking for more and more bands. They don't have to be from Liverpool. We're in Liverpool. Yeah. We're fiercely northern.
But I heard a rumour that they had to be from the north.
They do, absolutely. We're not signing anything from London, no.
Even
if it's fucking brilliant, we're not signing anything.
Yeah, honestly.
Because we don't want what with London comes baggage. So we don't want the baggage that comes with it.
You're just sorry to our London
fucking northerners, that's what you...
Well, we don't, The only guy I like, not the only guy I like, that sounds regionally racist. But there's a Mikey Johns who's doing what he does, with what Mikey's running, PC. What was Mikey running? This Feeling. He does This Feeling.
Yeah.
And I think what he's doing with This Feeling is superb, But Mikey thinks he's a Scouser, He's a London lad who thinks he's a Scouser.
And like Ali Horn,
I love it. Well, we're signing Ali Horn.
Well, I tell you what, Ali Horn, I think he's from down south.
But he lives here.
He lives here,
yeah. And
so there's a bit of flexibility.
Well, when we talk about, we're talking about the things that give us baggage. And
Cockney bands, you've
it's
got to
not
move
really
to
the
Liverpool.
bands, it's the managers generally, and the people that surround them. And also, London's got its own networks and labels. And so we want to
should it be some
create something
specific
for the North.
in the traditional sense of the cartel and all that?
Yeah, like Wilsey did with Delta Sonic, like Tony and Rob did with Factory, like you did with Produce. You know, it's not it's not a new idea.
So have you got a like a 5-year plan, or
we've got a 3-year plan, in terms of what we're looking at.
In terms of breaking bands and like.
Yeah, and we're signing a lot of new bands, but we're also signing bands that you would consider to be more established, really, and looking at how we can maybe reinvigorate and relaunch their careers in some way. Or bands that we would see as cool, in the same way as the Sound City ethos of bands that maybe inspired, young people anyway, so that's our ethos, really.
So, I actually think we're sort of coming to the end of
I think we should just mention politics just at the end here, because we've got Andy Byrne in Manchester and Steve Rotherham. Can you see that? They're both music fans.
Yeah.
And they're both Metro mayors. Can you see both cities working in collaboration, like Tony Wilson used to get the city working?
I think so. I hope so. I mean, I remember because we did a record. We've got a new festival we do now in Manchester called Off the Record that we do in.
You do one in Manchester?
Yeah, we started it last year.
Yeah, you're taking over the world.
No, it's only small. It was a small one we launched. We did it with the guys from Kendall Calling and Blue Dot.
Right.
So we launched it last November. Yeah. And two of the conversations we had was with Andy Byrne and with Steve Rotherham, and we got them both talking about it in Manchester. And Andy Burnham had this great idea of doing a festival in Warrington. So let's bring the two cities together.
Islands.
I'm thinking, I'm not sure that would work necessarily.
No.
But
groups from Liverpool and Manchester have always cooperated, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so. And I think if they can do that, then great. But I think I would talk to you downstairs, and I think one of the best quotes I've heard that I credited to you, I think was Pete Naylor, was that Scousers and Manx have this thing of, it's like a budgerigar peck in a mirror, and I think long may that continue, really, because I think you'd need that sense of competitiveness is strong as long as it's healthy.
I think Ian Brown said when they got back together again in Warrington, a few months before Deaton Park, Ian Brown's on stage, he went, with the Northwest, because he was playing in Warrington, he's from Warrington.
Absolutely,
He said, with the Northwest, if we ever got together, we'd take on the fucking world.
It's true.
Manchester and Liverpool ever got together, we'd take on the world.
I think, so I hope they can do something through their friendship.
So it's a Northwest. I think we should do Northwest by Northwest.
Do you know what? That was what I wanted to call Sound City when I first set it up. Roland, who I spoke to you about before, and they said, Dave, if you do that, we'll never come to Liverpool, because they're so protective of their brand, So I wanted to call it North by Northwest.
Northwest by Northwest. So me and Pete start Northwest by Northwest. You won't be offended, will you?
Oh, no, not at all. I won't.
Because it was your idea.
Yes.
I think that's it. We're actually not here next week. We're going to try and do one. We're playing in Dubai next week.
And you played where I took you to. Sound City
had an event in Dubai, the Irish Village, and we're going back there next week.
100 bands.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And we're playing next week with Lightning Seeds and Top Loader, and it should be. But we're going to try and do something if we can get a Wi-Fi connection.
If we can't get a Wi-Fi,
you will.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. But we'll be broadcasting from the other side of the world next week. And if we are,
well, hopefully we're gonna get it on, and we'll just listen to Feel the Love. Thanks for tuning in. Do you like Feel the Love?
I love it. I love it. I think it's an amazing sense of form.
Have you heard the other tracks?
No.
Well, good night, people. It's good night from me.
Good night from me. Good night from him.
Good night from him.
And don't forget, vote Labour.
Yeah, in fact, really vote Labour. This is a kick up our ass.